Okay, hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit of a different one, I guess. So I just wanted to talk. I guess it's sometimes hard to articulate on this subject because I do find it quite difficult to speak about, and I do find that it's probably taken me a lot longer than I thought it would do to be able to articulate on it, because I'm usually very good with speaking about things, and I feel as if from the outside looking in that you and my followers may have thought that I've dealt with this process fairly well, which I can imagine is a good thing, because it's showing that you can go through hardship and you can go through difficult times and essentially come out of them pretty okay, and keep a lot of the things that you have in your life that make you happy. Like, for example, for myself, it was my training and my diet and my routine and my work that really kept me feeling pretty normalized, if we can put that into quotation marks, because I don't think you can feel that normalized in a time period like this. But I wanted to make this video to, I guess, describe and maybe allow some people to resonate with what it actually does feel like, and how it does feel like a little bit of time away from things actually happening. So if anyone's very new to the channel, then you might not know that I lost my mum. I lost my mum at the beginning of this year, just in early March, and it's pretty much, it's late May now, so it's still fairly fresh in my mind. I think it will be for quite some time, but the reality is, the grieving process, I guess, is different for most, and people feel it in different ways. And in the moment, I was actually pretty fine, and I would say that I'm actually pretty fine now, and I'd say that the majority of my family are pretty fine. We're lucky that we're all very strong individuals, and I think that does play a large role in how you deal with the process. Is how much mental fortitude do you have, and how is that person left? Was it a huge shock? Was it something that, I guess in a lot of ways it doesn't really matter how the process happened, but for me at least, I was spending time with my mum towards the end, and she knew what was going to happen, and she'd tell me several times that she wasn't scared of what was going to happen, and that was somewhat comforting. But in the months after, I've certainly found it harder in a lot of ways. I think the main thing, I'm going to be very honest with, is just situations where she'd usually be around. So at the end of the day, we'd usually sit on the sofa, have a bit of a chat, and you really do miss those kind of things a lot. And it's almost hard living in the same house that she was a big part of. It's like spending time in the garden where I am now, and I'm looking. I've looked quite a few times in this video to where she'd usually sit, and it is really hard to fathom that, because for a long period, amongst what was happening, you almost start to feel like it's not really happening. It's kind of like a bad dream. When you wake up from bad dreams and you take that moment and you start to think, oh, it's just a dream. It's kind of like, for a while, waking up with that feeling and then realising it was actually happening and it's actually real. And I'm sure a lot of people can resonate when they're going through really quite just periods of time that you don't ever imagine that you'd ever have to go through. They're very shocking periods of time. I imagine that a lot of people can resonate with that, and that's why I'm making this video. It's not a call out for anything. It's not a call out for sympathy. It's not to get people commenting or to get traction on my page. It's really not. And I hope that you understand that it's not about that. It's purely because I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this that frequently, and I think my following and the people that do understand my content would like to hear what it's like, and whether they. I've had a lot of people message me and say that they've been through it themselves, and hopefully this video can provide some sort of restfulness for them, because I know that when I can resonate with people, it makes me feel more comfortable. So yeah, that waking up feeling is a pretty horrible one. It's probably the most horrible one out of the bunch, if I'm honest. Coinciding with that is I found it quite difficult to even separate other dreams. So I said to my dad the other day, it's like I woke up from a really weird, quite a dream that I didn't really want to think about that much. Nothing to do with mum, but it was just to do with something else. And I woke up and I almost lived that dream for like the first half of my day, and I was in a daze because I found it hard to separate what was actually going on, so reality, and what was in the dream, because I'd spent so long pretending that something real was a dream. I hope that makes sense. But outside of that, the ways in which, if you're going through something like this or something similar, anything, can be very minor that's having an impact on your life. Realise what you are in control of. And the minute you realise that the things that are affecting your life that you can't control, once you let them go, you'll start understanding that you can be happy. And trust me, I'm happy. You know, I'm a happy guy. I don't hold in my emotions. I will cry if I want to. I've had my fair share of just crying because I wanted to. I don't hold in emotion. I don't hold in or internalise emotions. And I don't think you should. I really don't think that internalising emotions is a good thing. And I've said that to everyone within my family. It's like, if you want to get upset, because internalising things is never good. And I think that, unfortunately, my mum was someone to not put stress on anyone else, so she'd internalise a lot of what maybe was stressing her out. I don't, as much as you don't really know how these things come about. For anyone that doesn't know, my mum had cancer. I think sometimes if you do look at the processes that cause things like this to occur, internalising stress is probably one of the ones that we really want to manage, and sometimes it can happen to the best of people, sometimes pretty healthy people as well. My mum didn't drink or smoke, or have any really bad lifestyle habits at all. So if there's anything you take away from this video, realise that the things that you can't control are simply things that you cannot control, and that you should focus a large part of what you do and what you place your happiness upon within things that you can control. Outside of that, please don't internalise your stress or your emotions. Find an outlet, whether that's talking to people, whether that's training hard in the gym. Find it, because it will do you a ton of favours. You leave it there, guys. Let me know if you want to hear any more, or if I can answer any questions. And yeah, if you're going through something similar, you'll be fine. Things will be good. Alright guys, thank you for watching.